What's up, Betty?
What's up, Songs?
How you
And
been,
what's up,
man?
everybody? This is the Optical Bro podcast. I don't know why I slipped up. It's that brownie, bro. Episode
Episode number
3.
3.
And you got my boy Sony Songs, and I am Benny, the self-identified Anunnakian. Just saying, going back to my roots.
You starting with that already, man. God.
So today, we're just going to mess around and just talk about some dumb stuff, to be honest with you. And then we might talk about this podcast that I saw just to see what Chris thinks about it, even though he didn't watch it. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was, because I don't know much about Chris and his background, so I like to just dive a little deep, you know? I know you used to be like a part of the Yakuza, but that's about as far as I know.
Oh, no, that's you brought up something I was going to talk to you about. You just triggered what I was going to talk to you about.
Well, what is it? Go ahead.
All
I
right,
didn't know you wanted to talk
I was
about
sitting there. No, because I was sitting there thinking about earlier this week. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta tell Benny about the time that they questioned me about the Yakuza. And so when I was here back in the 90s, my mom had a Japanese restaurant
Benny
in the
was
middle
a child.
of
Benny was definitely a child in the 90s.
Yo, man, let me tell the story. And so my mom had this Japanese restaurant, Main Street in the International District, downtown, not downtown Seattle, but in Seattle. All right, Seattle
What was the
International
name of
District. It was restaurant Ogiya. And so it's no longer there. In fact, I went by there maybe about 2 years ago, and they turned the place into like suites or
laundromat?
complexes or something like
Oh.
that. No, not a laundromat. The rice bowl that was outside on the sign is still there. So I was like, oh, that's where it used to be. But they can't. I remember being there when it was like the first year I was working there, because I was a host, and then I did dishwashing duties and cleaning up and everything. But we had these reporters that came up, and they asked me specifically. Well, before that, my mom came up to me and she goes, okay, if you have anybody who asks you about the Yakuza, don't say nothing. Just say you don't know anything. You know, and I was a young kid. I was like,
tattoos.
I ain't got no tattoos, man.
Oh, my bad. I thought you had something.
No, I'm clean. I ain't got no tattoos yet. I'm still finding some designs. But so I was like, why would you tell me that, Mom? Because prior, like 2 nights prior on a newscast, they had reported that a Yakuza had got arrested at the SeaTac airport here. And I remember that vividly. I was like, whoa, they actually got somebody at SeaTac. And so she came to me a couple days later and told me, hey, if anybody asks you about the Yakuza, don't say anything. Because word had gone around that there were some reporters from the local TV TV station that was asking questions with all the Japanese restaurant owners. And then Japanese restaurant owners back in the day, they were all tight. You know, they all knew each other. They would go to each other's restaurants, when their restaurant was closed, and they, go to other places, people's places.
They're like the Patels of here. You know, like all the Patels know each other.
Hey, man, I'm not commenting on that. I don't know nothing about that.
I know a lot of them.
But anyways.
So I know them personally.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But so the reporter that came, I remember it was a guy and a young lady, and they were asking questions. And so when they came, I had to go get my mom because she's the one that was over the restaurant. So I remember her sitting down at the table with both of these reporters, and they're asking a bunch of questions. And so I'm like, man, what the heck is going on that they're actually asking these questions? And so my mom came afterwards, right? And she said, because that's what it was. They wanted to talk to my head chef to get questions, because he came directly from Japan. And so they want to ask him about the Yakuza. And so everybody was like, no, we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. And I was like, I found it really peculiar that how they all banded together. I was like, yo, they're all saying they don't know nothing, but this dude just got caught at SeaTac airport. Something's going down in Seattle. What the heck's going on? Yeah.
So
no sooner than
the dude that got caught at that airport.
Yep.
Was he heading to y'all's spot? Like, was he like?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. In fact, when I came across the news, I was like, why is the Yakuza coming to SeaTac? And it was so long ago. In fact, I was going to go vet the story a little bit more and look at the news headlines to see if I could find the articles about when this happened. Because if I remember correctly, the 2 people that came to my location, man, they ended up dead. Whoa. And they shut. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I have to go back and make sure I'm remembering all.
Let me ask this. The dude that was the head chef, Did he wear like a dirty wife beater and always had a cigarette hanging out
No,
his
no,
mouth when he
man.
was
You
cooking?
you you
Oh,
got the
I'm
wrong
just
genre of Asian
hey,
movies.
hey, I'm just trying to make sure, man. I just want to make sure because those are usually suspects, bro.
No, man, you got issues. But I remember that because I was like, oh yeah, I was going to tell him about that because of the fact that it was crazy, and I remember that specifically when I don't know what you and I were talking sometime this week, and I was like, oh, I got to remember Benny to tell him the story. But I remember that, and the reporters that came in when they got killed, I think it was all over the news too, and they couldn't figure out what had happened. But when I heard that some of the details of it, I'm like, I'm gonna shut up because I don't know if this is right or wrong. I don't know what's going on. But I was a kid, and I was like, yeah, that was one of the craziest stories that happened when I was at my mom's restaurant.
That's wild. I ain't even gonna lie. I knew I wasn't that far off when I called you that. I knew I wasn't that far off,
No,
bro.
man, you're way off because I ain't got nothing to do with
Nah.
that. But I remember that
That's
when
what
you
you
brought
have to
that up.
say now, huh? Right?
No,
You know nothing. Wink,
I
wink.
know nothing because I was never a part of anything like that. I wasn't even told, hey, don't say
I
nothing because
got
you
you.
know nothing. I'm like,
Hey,
I don't know anything.
plausible deniability. I got you. I got
Whatever, man.
you.
I'm trying to do here. You go ahead and keep talking. I'm trying to see if I can find out if my memory serves me right.
All right. Well, the first thing I'm probably gonna talk about is something like when I was younger. I guess the sneaky part when you end up doing something you ain't supposed to do. So I don't know. I was probably 6, 7. I don't know, 8. I was young, bro. When did it come out? Do you know when it came out? That came out super
The
late.
first one, like John
Yeah,
Carpenter's it?
yeah, the
Yeah, I'll
old
look it
school.
up
But
because I can tell you. Hold on, John Carpenter's that came out. Dang it, man.
well,
Usually
anyway,
that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
whenever it came out, I was super young, and I remember because I know most of these young folks don't know nothing about it, but there was tapes. We had tapes, and we ended up
Called
getting
VHS, man.
they're called tapes. We call them tapes. I'm from the hood, bro. We call them tapes. So we ended up. My mom and them ended up going to movie gallery and finally got the movie. Yeah, movie gallery. Not
1982. 1982.
oof. Yeah. So
Blockbuster, man.
now we had movie gallery. So they ended up going to movie gallery and they got it right.
Oh yeah, movie gallery. I remember the movie gallery.
And I remember my mom telling us, "Do not mess with. Don't watch this movie. This movie's too scary for y'all to watch." Of course, I'm not listening. And the way we had the our living room set up, we had like a couch, and then there was a hallway, so you could crawl and sneak behind the couch and watch TV without nobody knowing. Of course, that's what I'm gonna do. So I remember I'm sitting there behind the couch and I'm peeking around and I'm watching a movie. And you remember the part where of course Georgie got a little boat going down, right? And I happen to peek my head right around the corner when he ends up grabbing Georgie. And he did that scary face and he ends up eating, killing Georgie. Bro, after that scene, I no longer, till this day, I do not mess with clowns, bro. Like, at all. Like, at all. I even tried, I watched it, like, it was, but the sad thing is, when I end up watching it when I was grown, it's a stupid movie. Like, it's not even really scary. Like, when you really look at it, especially
Oh,
like
you
when
know
he's,
what? I completely I mixed up these movies you were thinking about. I was thinking about John Carpenter's The Thing. You're talking about Stephen King's It.
I said it.
I know, but I
I
don't know why my
literally,
mind went.
I literally said it. I didn't even say I didn't know. I thought you was naming out like the main. I thought you was naming out like one of the actors in there. That's why I was like, yeah, yeah. I don't know the actors up there, bro.
It was close, man. That was 86. I was only a few years off. I was like, oh man, he's
You
gonna clip
felt
the
like,
hell out of this
hey,
right
you
now. He's
felt
gonna
like
make
you
me
was off
look stupid.
too. I
I was
thought
like, dang it.
this man said, yeah, the John Carpenter one.
I don't know why my mind said The Thing because I was equating it to a story that that was like my 16th birthday when that movie came out, something like that. So I was like,
Damn.
anyways,
That was a
yeah,
long time.
chuck that up to my old age.
But yeah, that was one other thing. And then I guess the other thing I guess that happened to me was it was minor because I told you I was gonna talk about this scar I got. So I remember my mom again. I was like 10, 11, I think, something like that. So my mom and them tells us this funny because this scar was super bad, but the origin story is garbage. Like how I got it is garbage. So just let y'all know, it's no
Okay.
dramatic story. It's super underwhelming. So my mom tells us, "Hey Benny, go take the glass out. I mean not glass. Go take the trash out." Okay, that's nothing except for one part. It was nighttime. And I don't like moving around at nighttime. Even like now, I don't take the trash out at night. If you want to get me, I'm sorry. You got to catch me in the daytime.
You won't even do it now.
So I grabbed a bag and I'm being cool and I'm grabbing about walking. And my brother came with me, right? Again, the reason is stupid as hell on how it happened. So I get to the trash can and my brother hollers, "Watch out, Benny. There's a wolf." Now, why did I believe that there was a damn wolf, bro? Of anything, a wolf, but it
You
scared
got a wolf.
According to him, I don't know for sure. According to him, he said he warned me about, like, it had like a big ass piece of glass sticking out of it. According to him, he warned me about it. I don't think he did. Because why would you scare me like that? So I ended up taking it and I had it like this. And he said it, so adrenaline kicks in instantly, bro. So I just flipped the whole bag, bomb, in the trash, and I'm running, right? And all of a sudden, I feel something trickling down my arm, and I'm like, "What is that? What is? Did I get some juice or something on me?" I looked down, bro, and it was nothing
And you
but
got your
blood.
whole thing tore up.
Man, when I tell you, it went from adrenaline to straight panic, bro. I straight panicked. I didn't know what happened. I didn't feel nothing. And I was just losing so much. I'm not gonna go after the details after what happened after that. Except it was a cool story. Like when I went to school and we put the little butterfly things on it, and I could show
Yeah.
my scar and everything. That was kind of
Like
cool.
that.
But yeah, ever since that day, bro. Again, if somebody's around me and you get stabbed or something, I cannot help you because the moment I see blood, bro, I'm passing out on you. Like I'm going to pass out on you.
I I didn't have something like that happen to me, but I was on there was a base in California called Mare Island base, and so it's gone now. It's something completely different. But they had a mountain on there that was called Bear Mountain because when you look at it, it looks like a bear standing up. And so a bunch of us with kids in the neighborhood. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just dropped my mic.
Okay, yeah. So we're climbing up the mountain and everything like that, and climbing rocks and all kinds of stuff, man. That's why I said mountain. Climbing rock climbing the other day. You start cracking up because that's what we would do. It was a bunch of neighborhood kids. We just go rock climbing. But when we're climbing up, the older kids were going up ahead of us, and they were throwing rocks down. And they were trying to like hurt us. And so we would try to hide from the edges and everything. We're yelling at them, kind of, knock it off, knock it off. So whatever happened is that somebody threw a rock, man, and it had to be at least this big around. And I was wearing a cap just like what you got on your head. So when it cracked me right on the top of the head, I mean, and it just broke in half and everything. And I was like, oh, man, that hurt like crazy. Huh?
You're a hard-headed motherfucker, ain't you?
So I'm sitting there, and it's hot anyways. It's California, 89 degrees out. We're out as kids, doing whatever. And, man, I went like this just to wipe my brow, and I looked down, and I started seeing blood. And, man, when I took my cap off, the cap had stuck in the top of my head. Ooh. So when I popped it out, man, blood just went straight, and I screamed like crazy. So the guy who did it, the kid who threw the rock and everything, he comes running down and he's apologizing. And I'm just, I got blood on my hands, blood over my face, blood everywhere. And it was like a little dot that's at the top of my head. I'm screaming. So I go all the way, they get me all back to my house. We have to go to the emergency room because I have to get 2 or 3 stitches off this thing. But the doctor was telling me like a little cut at the top of the head. He said there's so much blood that's going to come from that sometimes it's worse than anything. But I remember that, man. I remember it was like, God dang, that was a lot of blood. I thought I was dead. I thought I was dying, man. I was like, that was insane.
Ain't it funny how it's cool until you realize that blood is there? Like it's straight until you.
Because I was straight.
You do this,
I was just, oh man, I took one, man. I got a rock in my head. I'm still good. But when I saw that blood, I lost my damn mind. I was screaming. I was like, there's no calming me down. There's just none whatsoever. I think I was like maybe 11 or 12 at the time when that happened.
Oh, I know what I want to talk about. So this is kind of a controversial subject, man. But I do want it because me and Sarah was talking about this morning, right? Even though I know you've been out of the game a long time.
Yeah, that feels like that. I'm okay with it.
But you see the outside. One, you heard me and all of my shenanigans and whatnot. But so we was talking about how so I recently got me a daughter and whatnot, right? And I was talking about how I was worried about her in the dating life, right?
Yep.
Now,
yeah, I understand that.
Everybody, I'm gonna let y'all know now, we are not experts in this, right? But if we can see that some bullshit is going down, there has to
We're
be
gonna call it
bullshit going down.
Absolutely.
So I was telling her that I saw on a lot of these podcasts that statistically, all right, I like to use that word because sometimes it struggles me,
because
like
it makes you sound smart.
Like when you say jewelry, say jewelry for me real quick.
Man, why you choosing that word? I can't say that word, jewelry. I can't. That word screws me up every time.
But
jewelry,
I was just telling her that statistically, on all these dating apps, that females usually go for a few amount of people. You know what I mean? Like you can have 10 dudes and you'll have 10 girls. Those 10 girls will probably go with 2, maybe 3 of the dudes. They all will go for them.
Okay, so they're chopping their game, shooting their shot with those 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Okay.
Yeah. And she was trying to go back and forth with me talking about, well, it's the same thing for females. I'm like, it's not. I was like, because for one thing on dating apps, the first thing, like me personally, I've already said, I already know I'm a below average dude. I'm funny. I'm really funny. But other than that, that
got nothing going for me.
Like that right there kind of like give me 2-3 points, because I'm funny.
He's funny.
And I'm smart, But I was telling her how
he's conversationalist.
Yeah. But
that's what he's not going for.
I was telling her, I was like, so most of the time when they're looking at your name on the dating app and they see that I'm 5'7", yeah, I'm a tall 5'7", just let y'all know. Okay.
A tall 5'7". What in the hell is a tall 5'7"?
So I was telling her that, and she was like, "No, not really, because as long as you're taller than me." I was like, "But let's just say in a perfect world, if you had to choose between a 5'7", and I'm not taking no offense to it. I know I'm a little man, I'm all right with that. I've been this my whole life." So I was like, "But if you had a choice between a 5'7", a 5'7" me, which is now, or a 6 foot version of me," and she was like, "I'll probably go with the 6 foot." So that right there proves, that most dudes we go ahead and get the cold shoulder off game.
If you're not fitting a certain mold because of the way society is now, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that, man. Because if you're 5'7", I'm 5'5". So whatever you think you're at, I'm lower than you. So I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
And then
I'm good.
Because
I'm
it's funny
blessed
because
because I got my wife. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just lucky. I count my blessings every single day. I got me one. I got me a good one. So I ain't gonna complain about nothing.
I was telling her, right? I was like, you know, when Abby, when she gets another year, I'm gonna start putting on to the game. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start
You're gonna
telling her,
start schooling,
yeah,
educating her.
this is how the game's gonna be. You know,
Probably already
because
ahead of you right now, but all right.
nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. But so, and she was like, "Well, that does." I was like, "So let's just say before me and her met, right? Because I don't think she cared about telling us, but we met, you know, through a dating app. I think the Facebook dating thing,
You
right?
met through a dating app?
Yeah, the Facebook
Yo,
one.
you didn't tell me that. That's funny. You may have told me that, but I don't remember you telling me that. That's
Yeah,
actually pretty cool.
and then this is what I told her. I was like, when I was up there, whether it
Wait,
was
wait, wait,
that,
wait. Hold on. I need to know how many she reached out to before she got to you, though, because the fact that you bringing that up, were you like
she wouldn't tell
first
me.
person she reached out to?
She wouldn't tell me.
How many? She
Like,
won't tell you.
nah, I just know I'm gonna get that information. I just know I won. That's all I know. I won.
Hey man, that's all that matters. That's right. We'll take the win when we can take it.
But I was telling her, I was like, you have no idea how many people I went through before I ran into her. I was like, I got
No,
to a
I
point
believe
where
that.
I said I got to
Statistically,
a
I can
point where
understand that.
where I was gonna just get off. I was like, because the one thing I used to hate, right, when I went on POF, which I found out is garbage. It ain't even garbage, it's garbage, right? Because
Okay.
you either get hit with scammers, or I got a lot of them where they'll talk to you and they're super cool, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, my light's about to get turned off. Can you
Oh, they're
send me
scamming you
this?
anyways.
And
Yep.
I'd be like, well, I can get you some candles. You know, if you need that. I ain't about to pay your light bill. You can get out of my face.
I ain't that brother. I'm the brother who will buy you candles. I ain't sending you money. What?
But
That's
yeah,
funny.
but then actually now that I'm even talking about, I can tell you the worst experience I got off of POF, bro. I'm gonna tell you the worst experience. It's the one time I got catfished and I learned. See, that's the thing. Some people get catfished and they don't learn. I learned you gotta start doing. You had to do like videos, and I meet you at a public place, bro, because this is out here by far the worst night of my life, bro. I mean, it went from bad
Oh, I
to
can't wait to hear
worse
this.
to terrible, right?
Okay. Yeah, I gotta hear this one.
So
I know you
I
haven't
get it.
shared this with me.
You know,
This is gonna be good.
this was
Now, if
my
I laugh,
young.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm
Oh, you can
laughing
laugh
with
at
you.
me because it was funny.
Okay. All right then. All
So
right.
this is how it went down. I get on POF, right? Hit up this person. We decide that we was gonna meet up or whatever, right? So she was like, "You can just come over here and basically pick her up, and then we were supposed to go out to eat, right?" So I'm riding down there. I already thought one, it was kind of weird that they wanted me to come between 8 and 9 because I didn't really know what we was gonna do at that time. You know what I mean? I was prepared
Not
to go
much to
out.
do. Was this local? Was this where you were at now? Locally,
No,
where you were at?
no, I was a fool. I was going to Greenville. You know how far that is, right?
You were driving. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is what happened. So I go down there. I already feeling kind of funny about it, but I'm an optimistic guy.
Spidey sensors are tingling.
It was tingling. My gut was telling me, and I'm like, gut, it's all right, man. We just hungry. We ain't there yet. So,
All right.
so I go over there, bro, and I pull up to the house. And first of all, the first red flag I can tell y'all, which I ain't got no problem with people that live there, but if I pull into an area that I know is already the projects, that right there was an automatic red. You know what I mean? That was a red one.
Man,
You know, but again,
absolutely.
I don't judge. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up the wealthiest. You know what I mean? So
You're
she
giving me a
tells me,
benefit of the doubt.
yeah, she tells me where a room is. So I go there. So I, do the chivalrous thing. You knock on the door. Hey, come
Chivalrous
get you,
thing.
right? So I go
Right.
up there, and this is when it starts going bad, 100%. Now, mind you, let me give you a background. This person I'm looking at, that the picture I had was at least my height. She was supposed to be like 5'7", you know, my size. She wasn't an ugly girl. She was a pretty looking girl. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Worth
All right.
driving to Greenfield, right? I think she
Right.
said she was like a nurse or something. You know, she had a good job, right? So I guess that I should have known that when I went to projects. That was a lot, but
Yo, you're a nurse, but you in the project. Hey, man, you're trying to come up. Come on up.
so I went over there. I get to the top. I knock on the door. The door opens in that creepy way. That like the door is kind of
Oh
open already,
no, you got every horror flick in the movie coming out. I'm
bro.
coming up. Not your mind.
I guess this might have been the other side of me, but I had to investigate, right? So I pushed the door, and now the door is swinging open, and I'm like, again, here comes the second red flag. No furniture, a TV box,
Yo,
and
and you
then
went in?
I didn't go all the way in. I like stepped through the threshold. I made sure the door was still closed, like was open behind me, because you know, I get on out of there.
Yeah, man. No.
So I stand there and listen. I want everybody to understand that in this world there are ugly people. Okay, some people might think I'm ugly, so just let you know there's ugly people, because what came out of that room, bro, I swear that was the transformation off of Shrek, bro. That was Fiona right there. That had to been Shrek Fiona, bro, because she was like 5 times the size. She breathed heavy. She was a mouth breather. You know what I mean? Like and she told me, she come around the corner and she's like, "Oh, well, I'm about to just finish getting ready. You can come in the room if you want to." I was like,
Yo,
"This is what I said."
please tell me you ran. Please tell me you ran. Please tell me you ran.
I was like, "Oh yeah." I said, "Yeah, that's cool." But damn, I left my keys in the car. You know what? Let me go get my keys and I'll be right back.
Keys in the car.
So she goes into the bathroom or something, right? So I am a nice dude. I did lock the door when I left. Okay, so I hit
That's
the door
to keep her in.
Yeah, and I locked it, right?
Okay.
Bro, when I tell you I was running to this car like she was chasing, like I was hurrying, got my car, and that was the Chrysler, the one you gave me. So this is
300.
this is the demise of it right here. This is what killed it. So I ended up getting in my car. I cranked it on, sped out the parking lot. Like I was driving like I was really getting chased, man. So I'm driving down, you know what 13 is, right? So I'm driving down 13, right? Getting out of, I'm sitting here laughing now, because I'm like, yo, I have to make sure this will never happen again, right? So you would think that was the worst part of my night, right? False.
It gets worse.
Bro, I'm driving down the road and I just happen, you know, you never look at your gauges in your car, even though we supposed to. You usually don't, unless something's wrong. The temperature gauge, you never look at that.
Oh man.
So I'm driving and I just happen to look down, bro, and my car is overheating for some reason. So I have a leak something. So now I have to pull my car over. So I have to pull over and I turn the car off and I'm like, damn. So
oh man.
I end up like trying to get up with people. Couldn't get up with nobody, right? So I'm sitting there and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna just take me a quick nap and I'll figure out what to do after this, right? So I lay down, I go to sleep for about an hour, right? I wake up. I realize, damn, I have not came up with no good ideas. Now,
no good idea. I'm still stuck on the side of the road.
The adrenaline, bro. So now, this is when it starts to get real bad, because I just happen to look around. Now I'm checking my surroundings and I look and I see
ain't nothing there.
There's a church. There's this old church. I don't know if people still use this church or not, but I was looking and I knew I had a jug in my car. So I was like, okay, you know, I can get me some water, put some water in my car, bada bang, bada boom. I'm going to get on up out of here.
What time of night was this?
At this time now, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, bro.
There ain't nobody there. And you're looking at one of those southern silhouetted churches against like the backdrop of nothing but fields.
Man, listen,
bro. You got every horror flick.
Like it was a long church, trees
Oh
around it.
no.
So
did it have a steeple?
Yeah, like it was like a long. So I get out. This is when it gets crazy because I get out the car now. So I get out the car. And now it just feels ominous outside. I don't know if it's just because I've been in the car or something, but I'm like, okay.
Man.
I was like, so theoretically, man, it should have a faucet out here. I'm gonna just come over here, get some water. This is how usually people.
On the outside, there should be a faucet.
This is usually how people die. I'm not gonna lie. This is usually how people die. I don't know why, but so I'm go out there and I'm walking and I'm looking on the side of the thing, and then I see this door. So I ain't even halfway through it, and I see this storm door, which obviously takes you down into the basement, right?
No.
Of course I'm gonna look.
What are you?
You know what I mean? Like
you're like breaking every code like you can possibly make on an incident like this.
So I walk in there and I open it up and I look down there and it just goes down. And as soon as I saw nothing but darkness, I said, "Nope, I'm getting out of here. Forget the water." I said, "Forget the water, forget everything." Because for one, why is this door unlocked? That's the first question. Why is this door unlocked? No, I could have just walked in there.
Not doing it. Can't make me do it.
I run to my car, right? I don't even care there's nothing in it, bro. Crank it up, and I just take off. The funny thing is, I can only drive 10 minutes at a time before I have to pull the car over. I got to let the car cool down.
Calm down.
And then when I'm almost home, I had to turn it off one more time. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to stay here. There's no way. I put the car in neutral, and I found out I can push the car by myself because I pushed the car a block. It was a legit block is how far I pushed that car, man. I was so tired that I just got to the house and just laid down.
Trying to get myself back. Yo, you got catfish for real.
Man, it was so bad, man. Like I was traumatized.
Did she ever message you back?
Yeah, she was asking me what happened to me. I was in there block. I was like, block.
No, you blocked it. You're like, don't even contact me.
I got off of POF, bro. Didn't even mess with that no more. I'm good. That shit was wild.
You should have listened to your spidey senses, man.
But yeah, that was just a little story in between. But yeah, we was talking
a little story. It's a whole adventure.
We was talking about
that's one of those. That's one of those stories that starts off and somebody makes like a made for TV like 30-minute movie or flick or something like that. That's on HBO or something like that.
That's a straight Reddit story.
It's a Reddit, it's a Reddit story. Straight Reddit story.
It's so crazy, man.
Jeez,
like
man.
I've ran into so many crazy people. But anyway, so I was trying to explain to her that that's what we go through, man. Like we go through some crazy stuff, man. We either go through that, or I went on this one date with this one girl where we're in the middle of a Mexican restaurant, but you decide to play some Lil Baby. And then you got the audacity, and listen, Chris, the audacity to tell me that T.I. can beat Mayweather in a fight because he's from Atlanta. You're telling me that T.I., that's my boy T.I., but you're telling me he's going to beat Mayweather. Pretty boy Floyd. 50-something and some change, undefeated guy is going to lose to just this dude. That was ridiculous. I made her pay for her meal. Like, that's the thing. I made her pay for a meal. There's no way. I'm not getting with this, man. If you believe this, you are a crazy person, bro.
In certain lines, you don't cross with Manny. He going to make you pay for your meal.
Yeah.
Forget about being a gentleman. You screwed.
Chivalry just died. I pulled up at, do you want to come inside? Nope. I'll see you later. Block. Get out of here, your crazy self, man. It's cool.
Okay, then.
But yeah, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is I was watching this podcast, right? And we talked about it a little bit before we did this. But they was talking about how, I know you believe in the Bible and whatnot, and we've already brought that up and everything, but what do you feel about, do you think that there's a lost civilization? Do you think that, now when I say lost civilization, I mean, do you think that there was people here before we came? And like we was talking about last time, we was talking about how they could have got wiped out for some reason. This is also when they bring up that Younger Dryas theory. That's the one that basically wiped out the majority of the advanced civilization. Reason why
What's
they
it
believe
called? What kind of theory?
the Younger Dryas theory.
Younger Dryas theory?
Yeah, they believe that basically 13,000 years ago, a little bit before that, meteor something hit the ice shell,
Okay.
wiped out the people. Some
Younger Dryas.
cataclysm.
Okay. Drys. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the crazy part they was talking about was because I was telling you because I wanted to talk about this. You know how we got the Great Pyramid, right? But
Mhm.
I didn't even know this part. So I found out that the Sphinx, the lion shit that they have, come to find out that that lion, when it was built 12,000 years ago, right? It was actually it's perfectly due east. And it is made that so basically that the lion is supposed to be gazing upon the lion constellation because it's perfectly lined up with that.
With it. Okay.
Yeah, so the podcast, that's what the dude Graham Hancock was talking about. You know, basically saying that he believes that not only that's something, he also believes that if you go check under the water, because like I was telling you before too, that apparently there's something called Big Pharma, but now there's something I found out is called Big Archaeology, and they're the ones that control the media. They're the ones that control the past that
They
we
control
know.
the narrative. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah. Kind of
narrative
like
of the
we
past.
control everything, and let's just look at the Smithsonian because everything is crooked. It's like looking at the Vatican. You know those things hide something. You're not gonna just say they're not hiding stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they was talking about also how he went swimming. I don't know these places he went swimming. Y'all got to watch the Joe Rogan podcast on it. But basically he went underwater and it obviously looks like that there was something built. And then when they swim through it, it looks like two other like a gate was built. Right? And the dude really had
Yeah.
the nerve to say, "Oh, well that just happened. That's all it was. It just happened. It just fell that way."
No.
So don't
No.
what do
Come
you
on.
think? Do you think that there was probably somebody out there? Like, do you think
I
that
think
what
that
we're
there's a lot
building
of lost
off of?
civilization. No, I think what's the last question you just asked?
Do you believe that basically a lot of this different types of civilizations are built off of these advanced ones that just happen to get wiped out and they built on top of it?
I think there's evidence of that. I really do. I think that this goes back to doing it, looking at looking at everything, because how is it that we have lost civilizations under the water in Japan and off the coast? I think of Bermuda or someplace like that. I'm just going off of my memory. Don't chalk me up as being wrong. But there's so many different civilizations. They still can't pinpoint Atlantis, but that was who was it? Socrates? Who was it that talked about it? I forgot who one of the philosophers talked about it. That this city was there. And then you have all these different. They cannot pinpoint, and this is what I think these archaeologists or this organization tries to dictate the timeline, because if they can control a timeline and says that this is the narrative, then we're easily controlled. We don't question anything. We don't question anything, that the fact that there's a good chance that the earth has maybe been destroyed a couple times and
Yeah,
there's
that's what I
proof of
believe.
it. Yeah, because if even if I look at scripture even points me to the fact that something happened. Because if you have Genesis 1:1, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Okay, so everything is created, everything's perfect, everything's in harmony, everything's divine. But the next verse says, "But the earth was out form and void," and you find out that if you go a deep dive into that something happened that caused it to be that. So there's a gap between when it was created and then when this void is happening, and then there's another creation that takes place, and then you have the flood that takes place after that.
Yeah,
So
that's
in
what I was
this
about to
all,
say. I was about to say it's not unreasonable to believe that that great cataclysm that they're talking about, the great flood, could have technically been that ice cap getting destroyed and wiping stuff out.
it could have been, but see, this goes back to some of the research that I've looked at, because we talked about, we made fun about the meteor craters and all those kind of things. But if you look at how they talked about the flood in and of itself, Okay. And now the waters didn't just come from above. And we think water's coming down like rain clouds coming down. But there's been studies where there was like an encasing around the earth and that this casing cracked. But also not just from the top, because we look at the atmosphere, think the atmosphere is that's all there's ever been. No, that's something that is there now. But what was it before, maybe hundreds of thousands of years ago, or even 7,000 years ago? But then also, too, scripture talks about how water came from above and beneath. So if the water is coming, it's just like an egg, how a water come, when you boil an egg, it starts coming up from, and start cracking and things along those lines. I think I've seen an experiment about that. But you have water that came up from beneath too. And then you have these craters all around the world that look like that something came up from the earth and exploded up, and that's more than just like a regular water flood. You know what I mean? That means that there was a complete deluge, something covered. And when you were talking about before about the pyramids and how the water, there's proof, and I got to look into it. I still haven't looked into that, how the water of the pyramid, I mean, the water erosion that was there shows that there was flooding or some water levels that were hitting the pyramid.
Yeah, this kind of correlates all that. The Sphinx got the same thing. They see that it's been eroded by a lot of water that came through. And also when they looked up above it, you can actually see where water actually did flow.
Now think about that. Okay, think about remember the devastation that happened in Japan. I think that happened when you and I were working together. The Fukushima, I think, where the nuclear plant was at when the flood came in. And okay, now all that water went out and then also had to go back out again. And look at the devastation and look at the erosion and everything that happened. What if that's what's going on too when we look around the Sahara Desert and all these different things? Even though you bring up the Anunnakian theory, but look at what if it was a receding of the water that came back after it brought all this water and this flooding in, and then it receded back. It's I mean, come on, we can ask the questions. Why not see? The problem is we can't necessarily prove anything unless you're part of these scientific organizations. But even then, if they find out the truth, are they really going to share it? Because then it would question everything. And that's one of the things about with this whole thing about all these aliens and everything happening, and people are seeing UFOs and everything. People are so scared that it's going to question their paradigm about Christianity or any other religion. But you have the Catholics who several years ago were making an organization to make sure that they can save their space brothers. And so they actually have like documents on how to evangelize people in these alien brothers and sisters. So if they know something, and if they're putting together a group of people and these aren't just little people, these are high scientists within the Catholic organization and things along those lines, to search out and to prepare for that. A lot of us are going to be caught sleeping because it's like we're not going to know. Their whole paradigm is going to be messed up. Then they're not going to know what to believe. They're going to have really strong faith at that point, in my eyes, because they're going to be questioned.
All I know is when that happens, my brothers are going to be coming down from the bureau to come get me. I got y'all. I'm ready. Oh. I thought that's where we were going.
That might be a rude awakening for you when you find out what those things really are. But I ain't got you. I ain't welcome you into my home. You're not welcome. As far as I'm concerned, you guys are mortal enemies with me. We're going to be fighting.
Y'all trying to drink some tea? Sorry, nah.
Yeah, drink some water.
Hey, so here goes another controversial thing that I like to talk about, because I've asked people this question too, and I know you probably seen on TikTok about the man versus bear thing.
Man versus bear?
Yeah. So they go around there asking women, would they rather be if they was lost in the woods, or would they rather encounter a man or they rather
I just recently saw that. Hold on.
So that part I'm not talking about because we're not females, so obviously we know which one to pick. It makes sense.
No, actually, the one I saw was because, and I don't know if she was a feminist or whatever case may be, but she just hated men. And she goes, I'd rather be stuck with a bear than with a man. That's the one I saw.
Just recently, somebody got mauled by a bear. A woman got mauled by a bear. Just saying. But anyway.
Just saying.
So I saw on TikTok, and I'm going to ask you this question, Chris, and then I'll answer myself. Would you rather tell your secrets to a woman or to a tree?
Or to a what?
Tree.
The tree.
This is what's dangerous to me.
And whichever one you pick, tell me why.
This is what's dangerous to me about that. Okay. Now I've told my secrets to a woman, and I pay dearly for the price of it, because the problem becomes when I begin to tell secrets. And as a man, if I tell secrets, I'm being as vulnerable as I can with you. And I'm being, okay, this is who I am. These are my weaknesses. This is what happened to me. And I'm being vulnerable for that. But I've been on the case where I do that, and then that crap gets used against me because I was vulnerable. So that led me to talk to trees, so to speak. I'd rather talk to a tree and never have anything come back to me whatsoever, whatnot. Now, in the same tune, in my marriage, I'm able to talk to somebody now, and I don't have to worry about that. So I've had both sides of it, and I've had some pretty, some pretty messed up situations concerning that. So that's a good question, because most men can't. Most men will never bear like that because they've already been, you used it against me. Why would I ever trust you again? And why would I ever trust a woman again if I'm sitting there and I'm showing you basically I'm going ahead and I'm going to put my guard down for a minute because I'm carrying this thing. I don't want to carry no more. I want to share this with you. And then you turn around because you get mad at me. You use that against me. Oh, yeah. Hang it up. Never going to share anything with you again. And that, it took a long time to come out of that. So that's a good question, man, because a lot of men are going to be like, nope, never going to do it.
Well, I can tell you without even thinking about it, and I don't have to use all that mumbo jumbo that you just used, Chris. Because
you mean truth? You mean experiences? You mean
it's
life experience? Truth.
It's straight up tree.
That's my truth.
What it is, bro. It's straight up tree. I will have a whole lifelong conversation with the given tree, bro. Give me some branches. Give me some leaves, man. That's what I'm doing. Because just like you said, any dude that's watching this podcast will, unless you're a youngin'. Youngins don't know nothing about it yet, but don't worry. It is definitely coming. I promise you it's coming. You will not avoid it, bro.
Oh, man. Somebody got hurt really bad.
But
you got hurt, man. You need healing.
No. I didn't, because when it came up for me, it wasn't even like anything serious. It was just when the moment she said it, I was just like, yep, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I've been there.
Okay. Yep. But yeah, I saw that question. I was just like, there's no dude that would say woman. I mean, even though you said that you have a wife and you share stuff with her, you will still talk to the tree. That's what's crazy.
No, if I'm my trees, yeah. Well, no. I understand what your point of view is, but I guarantee you, most of these men that want to talk to trees are talking to themselves on the driveway home. When they're driving home, that's their tree. They're in the car.
A wise woman once told me the reason why we talk to ourselves is because sometimes we need expert advice. Just saying. Just saying.
I know you, Benny. I know you, bro. You don't need to talk to yourself, man.
Your
own counsel leads you astray. Bro, your own counsel messes you up. No, you do not need to be talking to yourself. No, you can say what you want.
That's another thing I tell you. And that
was a woman who told you said a wise woman told you that?
My mom told me that. Yeah. Oh. She's a wise woman. What you thought? What you thought? What you about to say?
No, I'm not talking on your mom. What's what, man? There's no saving me from that one.
Yeah. What you thought this was, man? I'm still old enough. I ain't gonna say that because I don't want people to know what I call my mom.
Yeah, man, that's between you and mama.
It ain't nothing crazy. It's just when I say it to people, they always say I sound childish when I say it. That's the only thing. But I feel like it's a form of respect.
Don't say it. Don't put it out there.
But I know I got something. Even though
that was a good question though. Random. I mean, there's gonna be some division on that one.
And if anybody watches this all the way through, and I want to see what most dudes would say. Would you say woman or would you say tree?
Yeah, put your comment in the bottom because I know a majority of all of them going to say I'm talking to a tree.
Yeah.
I already know it.
And why? It's like, nah, I want a whole page
why am I talking to a tree? Tell me about this. You're going to be pouring out all their pain. This is not a counseling place. You're going to be counseling men, man.
Nah, I mean, but
But I
I
feel
did
you
want to
on
see
that.
that, man. I get it. It's just always crazy because I asked a couple people, man, and the response to me was like, "What?" But then some of them I understood because of the background. But then at the
Exactly.
same,
It's your experience.
yeah. But if I have to put, I'm gonna tell you now. If you telling me I need to go toe to toe with a bear, ain't no shot. I'm not doing it. What is the alternative? What else can I do? You know what I mean?
Anything that causes you pain, you running.
Except for a panda. I take a panda on, man, because I feel like like in the
I've never
Jurassic
seen a
period,
panda attack in my life, man. I
like
always used to be wondering about
they
that.
said,
I
you
was a
got to be
panda.
careful. A panda would attack you, bro.
Really?
Yeah,
I've
people get
never seen
attacked by
it. I've
pandas.
seen the caretakers where they sit there and they bear hug the caretaker because caretaker won't give them more food. I've seen that.
But man, I feel like in the Jurassic period, we had something called dodo birds. I swear, pandas are dodo birds, bro. They are the dumbest
Bro,
creatures I've ever seen, man.
you think pandas are the dumbest creatures?
Yeah, super stupid. I don't. To be honest with you, I now believe there's no way you're really finding these out in the wild. There's no way these idiots are surviving.
You think they've been bred by China?
I
Because
don't know.
China's the only one that will give them out in the world. That you can't get them any other way.
Listen, they doing
You
something.
think they've been bred?
There's no way these idiots, man. There's no way you can have animals this stupid. These animals are so stupid, bro, that when it has babies, it gets surprised that it's having a baby. How, bro? You've been walking around with this thing in your stomach for months, or however long y'all hold them for.
I've seen some court cases like that. So you know,
Man, look, I seen a video of a panda falling into this, like, the little kid thing. He fell in the
yeah,
top of it and got stuck, bro.
you couldn't
They
get out.
had to help my man get out of it, bro. Like, you a big. What are you doing up there, man? Like, go sit down somewhere, bro. Like, I just started.
That's
It's just
crazy.
because this week I just been seeing a lot of panda videos, man, and I'm just like, these things are so damn
That's
stupid.
something that somebody can put in the comments. Who do you think? What do you think is the most dumbest animal on the face of the earth?
It's a panda.
Benny thinks it's the panda.
What do you think it is?
I
What
don't
do
know.
you
I got
think?
to think about that one. I'll be honest with you.
It's a panda, bro. Like, they're dumber than koalas, and these motherfuckers eat something that gives them chlamydia. Like, come on, man. Like, you're dumber than these boys.
You've been watching way, you've been watching way too many documentaries. I'm serious.
And look, I love animals, man. Animals are interesting, man. Like,
Oh, they
they're
do. They
super
are absolutely
interesting, man.
interesting. Like
Like,
my favorite animal is my favorite animal is like an otter. I love the way otters are. I don't know what it is about them, and not just little otters. Those big 7 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot Amazonian otters. Those things are massive, man. They be taking on crocodiles or whatever is down there. I
I
love
would,
watching that stuff.
I would say my favorite animal, hands down. It's funny because I used to pronounce it wrong. Is an armadillo. Except I used to call him a harmadillo.
A armadillo. You
Yeah, I used
really
to say,
like an armadillo?
yeah. I don't know why. I
Look at
think
the
that's
armadillo, mommy.
they're cool. You remember off of
Armadillo.
that movie Elders, The Road to El Dorado, man? Remember that armadillo that used to roll with them? You remember
Wow,
that used
man,
him as a dog?
you brought that one back.
Oh
Who's
yeah.
aging themselves now,
Hey
man?
look, bro, I am a
Eldorado,
Disney OG,
Eldorado,
bro. That movie was it, man. Except growing up,
Eldorado was it.
except growing up
Eldorado
now,
was
I
it.
kind of felt like there was a couple scenes in there that shouldn't have been for kids.
No,
To be honest
absolutely
with
shouldn't have been in that movie.
you.
And when
Yeah,
you looking at that, my kids are looking at that going, oh, Dad, that was really in the movie? Yes, son. Yes, daughter,
that was
those
like
scenes were in the movie.
what was
That's
the
like
movie?
that Penguin movie,
Liar.
though. They did those scenes.
What is it? Liar, liar. Remember? No, Ace
Jim
Ventura,
Carrey?
Pet Detective. Remember
Oh, man.
how the lady paid him? I never thought about that till I got grown and watched, and I was like, "Yo,
What?
that
Yeah,
is
and
how
then
he got paid."
then all the guys were like, what? In the movie.
I was like,
Yeah.
no, not that part. The lady when he found her dog. Remember the first client that introduces Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Remember he gets
The
the
very
dog for
first
her?
one.
Yeah.
Man, it was traumatized you because I don't remember that scene. I have to go back and look at it.
It
I'll be
didn't
honest with you.
traumatize me. It That damn, it was just,
You
it was
remember
just,
this long intro?
it's just funny. Nah, because I watch. Listen, I watched that movie now, bro. That's like one of my
Oh, I
top.
know. I had my kids watch it, man. I said, "You guys want to see something funny? Let me show you vintage
Huh.
Jim Carrey."
Nobody's funnier than that dude, bro. He
Oh
was
no,
he
when
was
was
super
it In
funny.
Living Color? Man, he had me dying. Jim Carrey is like he's still just that dude is just hilarious. Just because.
That
So,
sounds like you're showing your age
yep,
because
sure
I
is.
never
In
watched it.
Living Color.
I never watched In Living Color. I watched Living Single. We are living.
Yeah, I remember Living Single.
And then there was what, the Girlfriends. I watched Girlfriends. I watched the Steve Harvey Show. I just watched all of them.
Steve Harvey show. Yep,
I
that he
watched
stole from
Martin.
somebody else. I remember that one. Coach
Martin went
Carter.
hard. Martin went
Martin
super
went
hard.
hard.
I
Martin went
watched.
hard. Well, yep.
Only thing that went hard at Wayne's Brothers. Hey, them
Wayne's brothers. Yep. They were
Wayne's
funny,
Brothers
man.
was goated.
They're funny now. They be cracking me up, especially when they're talking about going to a funeral.
They're not funny now.
They're funny now.
No,
When they tell individual stories, not stand up and all that kind of stuff. Because I saw some stand up, I was like, it was all right. I still watchable, but yeah, when he's telling stories about family members,
I've never watched
did.
it. They're not funny to me stand up because Marlon to me is only funny on TV. That's how he is. He's only funny on like sitcom
Okay, I'll give you
shows
that.
because he can be outrageous. But when you're outrageous on stage, it's just irritating to me. And then Sean isn't really funny. He's only funny when he's paired up with Marlon. That's when he's funny. Like he bounces off. And then I didn't know their sister was on the Wayans brothers. She's super funny. Yeah, she's
all
funny.
right. I never could get with her humor.
And then of course you got my boy Major Payne.
Major Payne. That's still a classic to this day. We can sit down and watch it, and everybody in this house knows.
Major Benson Winifred.
What? Tell me. I love it.
Man,
he had me cracking up laughing.
If you don't answer me when I'm talking to you, I'm going to put my foot in your butt.
You're oh, man. I'll be answering my kids now like...
It's funny because I went to a gas station, bro, and it had that on, and I was just saying the part right there, right in front of him.
I'm telling you, man. It's
said, because you will walk like me, talk like me, and you will even be bald like me.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's one of the funny ones out there.
I used to love that movie, man. I used to really love that movie. But I think that's about pretty good for now. Got a good solid.
All right.
And everybody, thank y'all for watching. And if you did enjoy it, hit us with a like, subscribe, share, follow.
Yeah. We should get our logo out here pretty soon, man. I'm hoping we'll get that out there for everybody so they can see the new logo. The new logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get that out there.
Oh, let me tell you about something, Chris. I got to tell you about this. This is something I had to tell you about. I know that we did it an hour, but let me tell you something that happened, and then you tell me what you think is going on. And I might be remembering it wrong, but so Sarah, right, the other day, I want to say it was like Wednesday, right? The little one was taking a test, right? And we were just waiting to see whatever the results were. So now this is where it gets crazy. Now, this is not like in the stories they tell you the ending and then take you to the beginning. So I'm gonna take you to the ending. So this is the ending. This is my memory. I have a memory that we were sitting in a parking lot, right?
Okay.
Little one called. She told her mom about what she made on the score, what she got on her test and everything, and that she was going to the 5th grade and whatnot, right? That's the memory I have. Okay, I say it that way because now we're gonna go back to Wednesday. I go over there and I pick Sarah up, right? She get in the car and she says, "Hey, by the way, did you hear about what she made on a test?" And I said, "Yeah, you already told me. She got this right here, she got this right here, and and I told her the scenario that I remember." She looked
You
at
tell
me.
her the score?
Yeah, like I told her exactly what it was. Like that she's still going to the 5th grade, and all this other stuff, right? She looks at me and says, I didn't tell you that. I just found out about it. Now tell me, Chris, what's going on with that? You tell me what's going on, because that legit happened. She legit told me. I just
I
found out.
legit believe you. I legit believe you. And then, but let me ask you this: where were you at when you found out the results? The end, the story you told first.
It was the exact same scenario, all the way down to the point, Chris, to where the feeling of the sun on my arm was exactly the same. The only difference
Were you dreaming?
No.
Was this a dream, or is this? Where were you at when that happened?
I was sitting in the car. She told me about it, and I said, "Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, you already told me that." And I explained to her what she already told me before I found out.
She told you I never said that.
I thought it was like her repeating herself. You know what I mean? You know, like women had a thing where they'll tell you something like 8 times, so it's kind of easy to stick with the story.
Yo, man, you gotta start a fight, man. You're gonna start a fight.
That's the best thing, bro. Listen, it's easy keeping up with conversation, man. Can you miss something? Just hold on, man. It's like the news. It'll come right back around to you. And yeah. Explain that to me, son, because that's been messing with me since Wednesday, bro. Like, I've really been like,
I'm trying to get all the details of it, because because it's like, all right, you had that conversation, and then it had to have happened earlier in the day that you knew all that stuff, and then she came and told you at the end of the day.
No, I just already knew. To me, it already happened. Like,
it probably already did.
Nah, because she took a test.
No, I'm telling you, it probably already did. Nah. You probably hit a time slip, man. You just jumped forward and came back. I've had that happen to me before.
You
already told me this. No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
Nah, sometimes.
And you give us exact details, huh?
But mine wasn't even exact. Mine was literally a different version. Like, the information came from a different source. I remember distinctly that the little Snapchat ringtone was going off. She answered the phone, and she was telling her, and she explained to us about the scores. Like 100, you could put me on the polygraph, bro. I will tell you.
I believe you, bro. I'm not questioning you. I just sitting there thinking about, okay, I'm just trying to, in my mind, those things happen. I don't know what made your mind flip like that or get into that zone, but people's minds can get into that zone.
Well, just let everybody know now that if I develop a superpower, I will be a villain. I will be a villain. I'm not
and I guess I want to come after you, because there's no way you and I are going to be on the same side.
You ain't got power. And I'm going to tell you for sure.
Power doesn't know how to turn it off.
Are not as rich as Batman, so I ain't got to worry about you coming to me in a suit, neither.
And there ain't no way you got superpowers in the past week since the last time we talked.
Look, man. Or it could have just been cultivating.
Like you did something I don't know about.
It could have been cultivating,
some kind of formula.
I told you they did the study to me on Duke, man. You know what I mean? Gamma radiations, man, trying to turn me to a superhero. All right,
and with that, I think this podcast needs to end, because last week you had some crazy declaration, and now you got superpowers. I don't know what's going to happen next week. What else are you going to come up with?
I don't know, but that was crazy. But everybody, whenever y'all see this, man, y'all tell me what y'all think, because that was outrageous. And just remember, everybody.
I bet you find out more people have that situation happen to them than you think.
Go ahead and hit that like, share, comment, and everybody remember, this is hashtag.
Yeah, give us your feedback, any questions.
Hashtag 2024 self-identified Anunnaki. All right, y'all, I'm out of here.
All right, out of here.
All right.